Hello. Okay, I wanted to make this quick video because somebody commented and asked a really interesting question that sent me into a loop trying to answer it in my brain. And it's really windy outside today. There's like this howling wind in the background, so hopefully that adds just a mood and not a distraction. But so the question was, it had to do with if you've never experienced a creative spark before or a creative idea. The last video I made was how to get more creative ideas by finishing and completing small ideas that you have. But the question was, what do you do if you don't even know how to have a creative idea? Like where does one creative idea even come from, or how do creative people get their ideas? It's an interesting question because I feel like some people might answer that it's like, I don't know, it just pops into my brain. I once watched this really interesting TED Talk by Elizabeth Gilbert. I believe it's called The Elusive Creative Genius. And in her talk, she describes how in her research, so she had this like crazy success writing her book, Eat, Pray, Love, which has become like very well known, wild success. And then she was like terrified to create anything after that success because she's like, how am I ever going to get another idea that turns out to be that big and successful? So she did all this research about what creativity, like the act of creativity, how people used to view it in history. And she gave this presentation about how people used to, like, let's say in the Roman times, people used to refer to themselves as having a genius, as in a spirit or foreign body that inhabits their body or gives them ideas. And then when they make those ideas and complete them, people would recognize not the person, the human being that made the thing, but they would acknowledge that that person has a very talented genius, as in a spirit that embodies them, that is feeding them these ideas, which is really interesting because now it's the individuals that create that we give all the credit to. So in my own life, I do kind of believe that sometimes it feels like I'm being fed ideas. And I experience the most creativity, to answer this question from the person who commented. I get creative ideas when I am putting myself in situations where I experience awe and beauty. So I think that's why, for example, so many people get ideas going for walks or being outside in nature. Or I get a lot of ideas when I am listening to music that moves me and, lyrics that inspire me to want to write my own music and to try writing my own music. Or if I'm reading a book or rereading a book that just fills me with awe at what somebody is able to do with language. So, and those are just two like specific examples for two kind of genres, but going to a museum and exposing yourself to mastery of art and painting. Even though I'm not a primarily like visual painter or artist, I still experience like the desire to I want to try to do that. Oh boy, here comes the wind. So yeah, to finish up this video, I would say if you've never experienced a creative idea showing up in your life, expose yourself to as much beauty as possible, as much art that has already been made, because artists tend to be in communication with each other. So I might read a story that makes me write a story, or gives me an idea to write a story. Somebody might read that story and then want to write their own story. So just exposing yourself to as much art as possible if you're interested in having your own creative idea pop into your brain. So kind of a weird answer. I don't know if that really covers the mystery of it. It is a mystery. I looked at some forums to see what other creative people have said about this, and most people just agree that it's kind of a mystery and a magical thing. Okay, talk to you later.